No, sorry. Maybe not the worst shark movie in the world. I am being dramatic. But it does genuinely enrage me, this movie. I don't watch anything. I love a good bad movie. I think the mix of the legacy that Jaws has and then the attention that Sharknado got, like enhancing the wave of horror comedy, mostly the Sharknado movies. The attention that genre got, that wave was written far too long. This movie isn't that. I think it went in a more serious route, tonal wise. I'm not gonna sit here and go, look at how this intentionally bad movie is bad. That would be silly. Those are fun sometimes. Six-Headed Shark Attack, Demon Shark movie I watched. Those are all bad, yeah, but they were supposed to be. This wasn't supposed to be. It's Meg 2, by the way. I am not a movie critic. I love things people hate. I rarely hate things. Hate movies. If I have a good time, I had a good time. It was a good movie. I love to critically pick apart and do analysis of movies, but that's like conversational topics. Not like as I'm watching it, I'm having fun. But there's one aspect of this movie that disappointed me and bothered me so deeply that it changed who I was for the rest of the movie. This movie became my enemy. I will change my stance from, yeah, good time, funny, silly, whatever, to shame. Shame on this movie. Trust and believe I will harp on that moment when we get to it. Quick little disclaimer. I love sharks. Propaganda from these shark movies that sharks are evil and bite people and attack all the time. It's bad. I know it's not true. I know, I'm sorry. I go through phases where I love a good bad movie. And typically, the good bad movies involve sharks. Secondly, you don't have to have seen the first Meg to understand this movie. I'll summarize it for you. Besides, whoa, what if Megalodons were here? We have Jonas, main character in the first one and the second movie. Jonas is a rescue diver. He's saving people in a damaged submarine, but he has to cut his losses and leave some people behind.
What have you done?
Because of a giant creature that was ramming the submarine. He says, giant shark, Megalodon. No one believes him. 5 years later, a billionaire and some science people are working together and exploring the ocean, specifically the Mariana Trench. And in said trench, in these movies, not in real life, don't worry about this, there's a layer no one's seen or passed through before. There's hydrogen sulfide that creates like a thermocline. Essentially, gas concealed it. These people go through it. They have the science and tech to do that now. And they get attacked by a shark. They come back and go find Jonas for help because, oh my gosh, maybe this guy was right. When they passed through the thermocline, it like ripped a hole in it for a little while and the shark got out and followed them. Now it is past the layer that's been keeping it there. It is out in the ocean with people and things.
One fish did all this?
Ask it yourself.
New mission, find and eliminate said shark. They do. Uh-oh, another larger Meg came through. It's a bunch of people, bunch of B-plot drama, backstabbing. Whoa, billionaire guy was actually evil the whole time and ruined plans due to his negligence and greediness. Whoa, shocker. Don't worry, he gets eaten. The most unrealistic thing in Meg 1 is there's justice towards evil rich people. The team realizes they have to get rid of the Meg themselves. They do handle it. That's the first Meg movie. My thoughts on it, the editing, the acting, none of it really matters. This video is about Meg 2. To compare it, I will say the first one was fun. You kind of get the tone of it real quick. It wasn't Sharknado acting. It wasn't bad movie acting. It was action movie acting, you know? For this movie, good. Heartwarming. There was like kid in there. You like the dynamic. You like the connection. Solid B-plot, action, whatever. Your only takeaway should be there's a thermocline concealed deeper parts of the trench. And there's stuff down there. That's all you need to know, really. The gas layer. Things can't go through it, but they've developed technology of little submarine things that can. And sometimes that'll rip a hole in it. Are we caught up? Cool. Meg 2. Sometimes the opening scene to a movie isn't relevant for me to summarize. It's really just your shock or your hook, whatever. This is, so I will show it to you. It's vastly important and I need you to remember it. The opening takes us back a little ways. So quick disclaimer, I need you to understand this is a flashback. A little subtle, so I'll let you know this isn't set today. Let's watch. 65 million years ago. Tiny dinosaurs chased into the ocean by a T-Rex. They run back out because something scarier is out there. The T-Rex gets eaten by a megalodon. I won't comment on how megalodons and T-Rexes didn't exist at the same time because science fiction movie, who cares? A lot of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park didn't exist at the same time. I don't think T-Rexes were even during the Jurassic era. I won't say anything because I can't love it there and hate it here. I will say on the topic of Jurassic Park, let's get back to that. Let's make our dinosaurs when we make dinosaur movies. Stop CGIing this because this looks ugly. Sorry. CGI department for this movie, I apologize. When I first watched this, it was fun. It was cool. Didn't have any problems. You're not the problem here. Love and respect you. I hope you got paid enough. Anyway, that was the opening. Remember, 5-6 years since the last movie. Jonas has been up to 2 things. 1, fighting environmental crimes. He's broken onto this ship, hiding in these storage containers, so he can get proof that these people are dumping toxic waste in the ocean. Granted, he gets caught before they try and eliminate him, but he jumps in the water and his friends pick him up in a plane. Cool, okay. Honestly, I just watched this movie, like this storyline. That's much cooler. The fighting is cool. I wanted you to remember, hey, we have Jason Statham in this movie. Look what he can do. Jonas got me there. Fighting environmental crimes. Yeah, sure. Not gonna hate on it. Over the top fight scenes for this, but I'm having a ball. I will say the acting is more forced, bad, out of place.
You got this.
We'll see.
Maybe this wasn't the best idea. Maybe this isn't the best idea.
It's gonna be awesome.
Define awesome.
Not as natural. Not that it was Oscar winning in the first one. Like I said, you know the genre, you know the tone. I'm not expecting groundbreaking performance. It fit last time. It was a little, but it is worse. It's worse. It's like they were told to give these theatrical children's movie character performances. Every line delivery is embarrassing. Maybe I made that up because of how the movie upsets me. Like, no, I didn't. I did. It's bad. I rewatched it again and I was like, yeah, this is bad. Second thing, I said Jonas has been up to 2 things. He's on a research team. He's like going in the trench doing dives and whatever. Juming is his friend also researching. He's like the rich guy, owns the research foundation, doing research with him. Juming has been developing these suits that can go into the trench when they get out of their little ships so they can withstand and operate under the pressure in case anything happens to the ships when they're down there, right? And Mei Ying from the first one, there was a kid in the first one, she's his niece. Here are the people you need to know. Jonas, Juming, Mei Ying, Rikus is another main character. She's not here right now, but she's on the dive teams, does the diving with Jonas, is in the little pods that go in the ocean. The research team that'll stay behind on missions is Mac, DJ, and Jess. There's other people, obviously, on the missions at the research center. They don't matter. Don't remember their names. Driscoll. Driscoll is another rich person that works with Juming. She is, the reason I mention her is because they're hosting this party. She's one of the company's investors. They're throwing this party, and at this party, Jonas notices a guy.
I don't like him.
You don't like anyone.
And he's like, that guy's suspicious. Have I seen him before? Probably not. I don't know why he doesn't look into this super suspicious feeling he has. But he doesn't. Another note to keep, suspicious of this guy. Juming is giving a speech at this party. He mentioned the suits and all the research they've been doing. He reveals Megalodon he's had since they found it when it was a little baby shark. Yeah, he just has a Megalodon that he's been training and bonding with. And one day, Juming decides to get in the tank in one of those suits with the Megalodon because he's been training her with this little clicker thing. He feels confident enough to do this. He doesn't tell anybody on the research team he's doing this. He just does it one day. And his team is like, $50 he's gonna get eaten.
$50 says this is gonna end badly.
I'll take that action.
No one is stressed except for Jonas and Mei Ying. But then suddenly everybody is. Because there's no consistency and no good acting in this movie. The shark tries to eat him.
20 meters. You make it out of there!
And he rushes out of there. According to him, if Meg listened to him, It was just a little too close for his comfort.
That was exciting.
Also, he says she's been acting super strange all week. My Megalodon. She's been a little weird all week. And he thought that was the perfect time to get in the tank is when she was acting weird and didn't tell anybody beforehand. What kind of scientist would do? Never mind. Rich people. Mei Ying wants to go on their dive when they go to the trench. They're gonna leave. They're like at a research station. They're gonna leave that and go to one in the middle of the ocean called Mana 1. It looks like an oil rig in the middle of the ocean. It's a research thing. And they're gonna leave from that in little pods to go into the trench. She wants to be on one of the little pods that are in the ocean. She's 14. So Jonas is like, no.
You need to start taking me seriously as a scientist.
You're 14.
You can go to Mana 1 though and be in the little research center and watch our dive from there. You know, there's part of it's under the water. So they fly to Mana 1. When they leave, the Meg breaks out. They don't know this. They're at Mana 1. They leave, depart, go into the ocean in their little pods. One of the research people are like, hey, one of your pods has a lot less oxygen than it should. Is there a leak? What's going on? There's not a leak.
That's not the problem.
Jonas.
Mei Ying snuck into Jonas's pod. She packed a suit for emergencies, so everything's fine, she's covered, and they should proceed. And Jonas is like, no, we're going back. What, like, have you lost your mind? I'm not taking you down to the bottom of the ocean. You're 14. Her uncle, though, is like... So they're all about to quick trip travel back up to Mana 1. When the Meg, their Meg that broke out, starts getting close, they're like, ooh, we have to keep going because the shark could attack us. Continue the dive through the thermocline because it's kind of coming at us.
Charging the predator countermeasures.
We'll be dead before they're online. Thermocline's our only hope.
And they're like, she can't follow us through, can she?
I've lost her. She can't follow us through. Can she?
She does. I don't know why this perplexes them. They know they rip holes in it for a second when they travel through them. Anyway, right on them. Suddenly there are several more Megs
That's the biggest Meg I've ever seen.
Biggest Meg anyone's ever seen.
under the thermocline. There's a few of them. Her uncle, Ming, says it's fine that Mei Ying was with them and they can continue the dive because they have predator countermeasures on and the sharks aren't bothering them. They're all doing a weird thing over here. Now, the reason they're on this dive is to just explore under the thermocline, explore the trench. They've already mapped out certain areas of it, but a lot of it is unexplored. All they were doing is exploring. They have left this mission to just follow the sharks. And the research team at the station is like, that's not safe, that's not smart, that is not our goal. Please get back on our route. It would be silly to just follow a bunch of sharks when you don't know megalodons, when you don't know what they're doing and why they're acting so odd, and you have a 14-year-old with you. No one listens.
I'm changing the dive plan. We have to see what they're up to.
And what about Mei Ying?
Well, I vote we go.
I wasn't asking you.
Okay, we're 30 minutes in. What's happened? Why do I have such little commentary? And it's all summary. Because nothing has happened. Not a thing. They're off track, they're exploring.
Let's explore.
Copy that.
So we gonna follow some giant sharks to an unknown sector? Here's some dumbass shit, mark my words.
Yeah, I will mark your words and mark them correct. I agree with you. I pretty much can apply that to everything in this movie. They're scanning and exploring places as the megalodons gather under the moon. It's a mating ritual. It's like mating season. That's why they've all been acting funny. They're apart from the Megs a little bit and they see another station in the trench. Like there's people that have been down here.
That a wreck? Some kind of seafloor station. What could they be doing down here?
Despite the fact that this is a newly discovered place and they only have the technology to get down there. And there's people mining, like in suits, mining. When someone inside that station realizes they've been seen, he blows up the mining operation, eliminates his own miners, his own diving people out there. Obviously something nefarious is going on. The explosion also causes a huge rock slide.
I can't get ahead of it. I'm gonna have to go through.
Rocks are everywhere. It ripped a giant hole in the thermocline. All the pods getting destroyed. The rocks don't mix well with the pods. It's not good. All lose communication to each other, to Mana One. DJ and Jess and Mac, the people back at the station, they're like, please don't be dead. Thank you.
How do we know if they're still alive?
Prep the rescue vehicle.
It's so... How are they flat and bad, but over the top and dramatic at the same time? Anyway, no one can communicate with each other. And someone sabotaged the rescue boat that's on Mana One, so Matt can't go down there and help them. The pods are trapped, they're losing air. Jonas is like, we should just get in our suits and walk across the trench to where we saw that other station and just go in there and wait for help. We're gonna walk across the bottom of the trench in our suits. So they do, and honestly, it looks bad. The ocean looks, I get that it's the ocean, it's gonna be dark, but it is so poorly lit, it looks boring. Anyway, it doesn't look great. Again, I'm gonna bring up the acting. I am not looking for groundbreaking, award-winning performances in a movie like this. Still, terrible performances, like some of the worst I've ever seen. Amped up versions of their character tropes. None of them fit well together. Stereotypical lines. That's really what I wanted to emphasize, that they're basically just tropes you've seen their character a billion other times, you've heard their dialogue a billion other times, yet they are still amped up versions of that trope, and they don't mix well with each other. Some of the dynamics are cute. Like, the acting is so bad it takes you out of the movie. Bad acting is fine if it fits what you're going for. Everybody looked so bored, and still were like cartoonish versions of who they're supposed to be. So back in it, at Mana One, they realize the rescue pod has been sabotaged.
Some kind of rogue operation in the trench. Now some bastard's got his fingers in our operation here. That sub was definitely sabotaged, so we got a mole on the station.
They have a mole on the station. Someone's infiltrated them. Because that station over there is obviously using their tech. Like, someone's not only sabotaged this, so something bad happens to the people down there, but they're in on it with whoever blew up the mining operation. DJ, Jess, and Mac want to keep it under wraps. Lance, he gets attacked by a giant creature in the ocean. So rest in peace, Lance. Alright, they do not develop or connect you to these characters at all. Simply feel very little. Someone who's emotionally connected ASAP watching a movie. I think I only sort of teared up watching this just because one of the characters is sad about it.
No! No!
We have to keep moving.
No, we can't just leave him out there. We need to find him.
Back to the evil guy that's in the station that blew up the miners. He's the guy from the party that Jonas was suspicious of. His name is Montez. So that kind of confirms that he's working with someone in their group. It's the rich lady. The sponsor had the party with Juming. She's been taking all of Juming's research. The pods, the how to operate down there. Because, no one's done it before. She wanted to make a lot more money than research, so she found resources down there. Evil rich people. No one's surprised. She's upset that he did not kill them in the rockfall explosion thing.
I took them out with her landslide.
Are walking right now to the station. If they get there, we're screwed.
She's like, they are on their way to your station. Get rid of them. I guess she just told him to get rid of all of them, including the child? Okay. Stuff's out there, like creatures. Someone's low on oxygen, something's stalking them. They get to the weird station, and they almost make it in, and they're attacked by dinosaurs. Those little dinosaurs from the beginning. They attack, grab people, pull them in, jerk them around. Jonas punches one. Juming pulls a flare. It like attracts the sharks. He was going to sacrifice himself. So the sharks attack the dinosaurs and they can run away. And he's going to sacrifice himself. When Jonas is like, hey man, just attach that thing to a little flare gun and shoot it off.
You really want to die, don't you?
So they go after it and you can get away. Like, you don't have to die, silly. Let's go. They do. The Megs come and chase the dinosaurs off. It's just the Megs. Everyone gets in, except for one of the girls' helmets sort of got crushed earlier. They don't depressurize the room in time for her head to not explode. So she does not survive. This scene was okay. We are 43 minutes in, and this is the first time you feel anticipation, like you're on the edge of your seat for longer than 3 seconds. So they're in the station, taking off their suits, sneaking around. And they find the material that was being mined, and Juming is like,
$1 billion.
Billion with a B?
This one case is worth $1 billion. Obviously, they have motivation to get rid of us and steal my research. They now know there is a mole in their group that's been feeding information to these people.
They've infiltrated Mana 1. The rescue sub was sabotaged.
By who?
We're working on it, but
They find escape pods. The hatch door closes behind them, and someone shows up on the screen. It's Jess.
we're talking because I'd prefer we were on the same side. While making so much money, it ceases to have meaning.
Jess is the mole. She's like, hey, we could be on the same side. You could agree to make money off of the mining situation. We could all be friends. They don't agree to that.
3 of our friends are dead because of you. You think I'm gonna forget about that?
Jess hops off this little fun FaceTime call and just dials herself in. She's like, this is really sad. We could have been pals. We could have worked together.
Using your technology to take whatever we want.
But I'm gonna flood this room and you're all gonna die down here. She had Jess like make the pods go away. Pods are gone. Floods the room they're in. Jonas swims out through the airlock where the rescue pod used to be, swims out of the station and around it to go save them, back through the front door that they came in. He does that. He gets through. But the evil guy, Montez, he's like, hey, you loser eco warrior, you put me in jail several years ago, now we're enemies, and they fight. This is the most exciting part of the movie, a fight between two people. The most interesting filmed scene, like shot wise, and the flash between the room filling with water, like you don't know who's going to survive. The most excitement in the movie is happening right now. Obviously, Jonas gets away from Montez, hits the button, empties the water out of the room. Everyone, it's fine. There was a submarine in the station. They get on that and skedaddle. They do realize that a giant hole was torn in the thermocline
It will seal up eventually. Eventually.
because of the explosion. And we see that something else, not sharks, a giant octopus, something with tentacles, gets out. Mac and DJ figure out that it's Jess. Acting, not great. I don't know if you've heard me say this, but the acting in this movie isn't great. And once she's revealed to be the bad guy, she goes from obviously suspicious to cartoonishly over-the-top villain acting, like kid movie villain acting from every bad guy in this movie. It's cartoonishly bad. Jess and it's just not good. Second issue, Montez did not perish down there. He gets in one of those suits and he escapes. We got a couple problems. They get back to Mana 1. The evil people, soldiers, their goons, have showed up and taken over. DJ and Mac are trying not to get discovered. They do. They get away.
I'm sorry.
Mac running right into his pepper spray. One funny scene in this movie. Despite several comedic lines and situations being written, the pepper spray scene was the only thing that's like, and then it's over. If everybody's acting mixed well together, it'd be funnier. They have explosives that they found on the ship. They sneak on. And the plan is to go find DJ and Mac and escape on one of the lifeboats. Mac and DJ get captured. DJ, he fights them off.
Oh, yeah, baby! Get some!
But you can't punch bullets, so eventually they do have to jump in the water. So there's one smart, prepared person in this movie, and he's also comedic relief.
Trained up, I learned how to fight, I learned how to swim, and I'll never go anywhere without my survival package, so just like Jaws 2.
That never happens, so I guess they did kind of break expectations. Wow, look at them go. And, like, I like the characters. I do. I like Mac, I like DJ, I like Regis, I like the main people. I do. I think it's a cute, I like their dynamics. Could have been so much better. Like, when I say acting, I mean the lines they're given and their director choices. Like, you can tell. I don't know, maybe they just weren't into it. I think their dynamics are cute, and some of the characters are cool. The only thing that got me through this, Jonas saves them.
But you were dead.
Wishful thinking, man.
So they're fine. They all, Tess and Jess are together. And on top of it, 3 Megs escaped. Orders are to eliminate all of them. Like DJ, Jonas, Jimmy, and I guess again, Jess instructed to the child. That was part of it, just to be clear.
Search the station top to bottom. Secure personnel in their quarters. Kill anyone else. Go!
Yeah, the performances are not good. The rich lady, Driscoll, is like, hey, I think our cover story should be Jonas and Jiming were irresponsible. That's how Megs got out. And you and I saved the day. How would you like to be promoted and be in charge of this whole research thing the way Jiming was? And Justin's like, absolutely. Let's do that. I have plans ready to go. Here they are.
I was also thinking.
And then the Meg breaks through the glass and eats her. Montez was in the room, but he skedaddles out of there. And now he's even more inspired to hate Jonas, I guess. Our main people have gotten on their escape boat. Jonas is sitting there making makeshift explosives so he can eliminate the Megs.
Any sign of the Megs?
Negative!
They need to warn people about these megalodons. The closest place is somewhere called Fun Island. They want to get there to warn people and to call for help. Fun Island. It is what you think it is. It's a huge resort party area. All the huge creatures, Megs, the octopus, have made it to here. Jonas and his pals roll up to Fun Island and the rich lady and all her henchmen because they know this is the closest place. They can see a map. So they helicopter there. The evil people soldiers are getting snatched.
You copy, guys?
They're on land. They're getting snatched left and right. Why? What's eating people on land, you ask? The dinosaurs. The dinosaurs. Now, in the opening, were they on land? Yes. Don't think the day they went under the water was that day, 65 million years ago. It was obviously when the asteroid coming down isn't what. It didn't just hit a bunch of dinosaurs and that's what killed them off. It took years, you know, the ash covering everything and things dying out. Obviously, that's when the little water dinosaurs went down there with the megalodons. But it's been, still, even if it wasn't that day, it's been millions of years. They're the exact same they were 65 million years ago. They didn't evolve at all. They just swam into the ocean and swam right back out. Granted, the megalodons didn't change, but they are sharks. They are supposed to be under the water. Shocker. Those things. Why are those things able to... You know that phrase, even a worm will turn? It's applicable here. That's how I felt watching this. Like I said, I love critically taking apart movies in conversation when the time it's relevant. Other than that, I'm sitting down watching a movie, I'm having fun. I've said this, I need you to know this. I love campy, bad movies. If this was a silly, stupid movie, I wouldn't blink. I'd be like, that's ridiculous. We know what this was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be a campy Sharknado, six-headed shark attack. This was supposed to be an action movie. They showed us unevolved dinosaurs. It's been 65 million. Why is it walking around on the ground? Riddle me that. Whatever, let's just power through this. They're fighting off the dinosaurs. It's not boring. It's good action. They finally pick the pace back up. The rest of the movie is action movie defeating all of the things. Can't use phones, so DJ and Regis go find where a sat phone would be. Jonas goes after the sharks. Like I said, I don't hate the rest of the movie. Evil lady and her helicopter pilot get eaten by the dinosaurs. This is the exact same movie as the last one. Jonas is out there on a ski with his explosives. Not doing too great. He misses, but he's trying. He'll be fine. He gets the second one. Regis and DJ scurrying around.
They can walk.
Exactly. Why? Montez, he sees Jonas going after the sharks. And he thinks this is a perfect time to go after Jonas. Why? Why wouldn't you wait for either him to get rid of the Megs or the Megs to eat him? Because that's how it's going to end. Someone's going to win. Why would you go out there into megalodon-infested waters after him? Why wouldn't you? Why? Okay. So, Mac and Jiming, they're gathering stuff to build a explosive to help get rid of the Megs, get in a helicopter, and fly the explosive out to Jonas. They notice Mei Ying running around trying to save people. Jiming is to be lowered to go save her. The giant octopus brings the helicopter down with Mac in it. Jiming, he dives out of the helicopter first. He's got the explosive still. Mei Ying and Jiming use the explosive to get rid of the octopus. Or they try, it doesn't work. Grabs him, but then a shark attacks the octopus. And the shark wins. So the octopus is handled. Back to Jonas, who is now skiless, was not doing too hot out there. He's being chased by the sharks and by Criminal Guy. That gets handled, because Jonas uses the shark to eat him. Again, raising the question, why go after him while the sharks are still in the water? Jameen goes after Mac, who was in the helicopter that crashed. It's like down the ocean, and Jonas dives in the water to go help them also, because a Meg is after them. Jonas uses the busted helicopter propeller to attract it to him instead of them, and when it jumps out of the water to eat him, it pierces itself. So 2 Megs are handled and an octopus, but they're all in the water with the last Meg, which is Jameen's Meg, and he's got his clicker. It's coming after them, and he thinks this little controller will work and divert it away. It gets diverted away. Jonas thinks it's because the shark went after dolphins instead, but Jameen thinks that the controller worked.
I have a special bomb! Went after the dolphins. No! She obeyed my command!
Everything's handled, everybody's fine. They're all fine, they're all celebrating. I mean, the Meg is still out there, but they're like, that's a problem for another day. Cute closing ending.
Well, everything's about to be totally not under control.
That was Meg 2. I pretty much said what I didn't like as we went along. I don't need to like sit here for an hour and tell you I didn't like that movie, because I just did. It was a lot of summary, but I needed you to watch the movie with me. You know my qualms. I said it as the movie went along. I'm gonna summarize it for you real quick. 1, it's just slow. It's paced very odd. I get a movie needs to have exposition. The beginning is sort of a waste of time. 2 is definitely the corny, painful, out of place acting. You can't have kids movie acting in a movie you're trying to be serious and action filled. You know what I mean? 3, it's dull. There was anticipation, there was potential moments, and I think it's dull because it's pretty much the same movie as the first one. 4, it's unimaginative and it does too much. I know that's 2 things. They sort of tie in together. When you first hear the plot of this movie, you wouldn't think unimaginative because all the storylines, like more sharks, more creatures, nothing is done well. And like I keep harping on the acting, making it feel like nothing fits in, neither do the storylines. You can do a bunch of stuff, go bonkers, go bananas, do it well. It feels like they try to do too much. And when you waste time being super slow at the beginning, nothing really meshes well. So nothing mixed well in this movie. They pretty much did nothing with all the extra stuff. The fight scenes between the people feel a little out of place because they're so over the top. The acting is over the top. A lot of the plot point, I get it. I get how it's all tied in, but it's done very unimaginatively. Essentially, this movie seems like it doesn't know what it is. It seems to be too many movies at once, and we've seen them all before, but we've seen them done better. I feel bad. I feel really bad being so critical. But it's very rare that I notice these things sitting down watching them trying to have a good time, to the point where it pulls me out of it. But if you love the movie, please don't feel like your feelings should be hurt. They shouldn't be. Everybody likes different things. If you enjoyed the movie, good, great, cool. We're different people. You disagreed with me because I hope someone had a good time. Genuinely so glad you love this movie. I didn't. So that's all I have for you. Bye.